Hey, how's it going? Got one person in here so far. I just booted this up. I didn't really plan to stream today, but I figured I'd do a short one, maybe a couple hours. There's a new game that's coming out soon by Kurzgesagt. It's a pretty popular YouTube channel, does science, generally science-based videos. And they partnered with a development studio a while back, and they've been developing this game. So I thought I'd give it a shot. It was on my list of games that I wanted to try out, so that's what we're going to be doing here. You can see I already played about an hour. I was goofing off. You get access to 3 levels, and the first one I already completely destroyed. Got 100% on everything. I'll try and get the achievements. I need to get 50% and 100% on these two. So I'll try and get these two down here, and then that should give you a pretty good idea what the game's about. So let's go ahead and start a new one. We'll just start a new one. So there is some story on this one. Initially I wasn't quite sure what to think. I thought maybe it's a kid's game, maybe it's actually like a legit game. It's kind of a kid's game, but I will say this, it's actually pretty challenging. It reminds me of a lot of like a mix between a city builder-ish and a puzzle game. Like it's a very, very light city building in the sense that you gotta set up stuff and, you know, manage logistics and whatnot. But I would say it's more of a puzzle solving game with like, what do you call it? Like progressing items from one thing into another. So like if you combine 2 items, you can create a new item, and then maybe you need that to, you know, build something or upgrade things. So anyways, it'll make sense when we get in there. There are some story things in here. I'm just gonna skip all this. It's pretty, I don't know the best way to describe it other than like, I guess it's cute. Something I would definitely let my kids play. So we'll just skip through this so we can get to the actual gameplay. So you start off on a map. You don't get access to your space station. This is where you send all your resources back to. You actually start on a planet here. So we'll enter this planet. And then, like I said, it looks really simple, but it's actually a bit more complex than it first seems. So maybe give it a few minutes before you pass judgment, because I sure as hell did when I first started. It's like, oh, this is like a kid's game. This is way too easy. But the challenge creeps up on you. So you have to start by building one of these launch platforms, and this is how you get resources back to your main, what do you call it, your main space station. So pretty cool. You need to build stuff and connect it. There's also a little rover. This thing's free to deploy, but you kind of drag it around. You can collect some money and research points and stuff. So we'll just do that in the beginning. Just collect a few of these. Takes a little getting used to because the world is round. Although I did play Total Annihilation, Supreme Commander 2. And it was kind of similar to this, where you could have very small maps that are round. And it's a little bit of a trip getting used to it. But like I said, I've got some experience in games that are like this, so. These people should love Spore. Yeah, Spore is pretty fun. That was an old school game that was really a lot of fun back in the day. It's probably still playable these days, to be honest, compared to some of the garbage that these companies are putting out. So anyways, yeah, so you can get your initial starting funds by doing this. You can see you get about 25 or 15 credits each time you do that. Let's skip all this. They want us to check out the yeah, this thing. We need to get a research hub, but we don't have anything to generate research points. So to do that, we need to gather water. So we'll accept this quest. We need to find where water is, and you can see there's water right here. So we'll put an extractor. And one thing that I've learned is you have to be very efficient with your placement, because you can use up a lot of space and you'll kind of pigeonhole yourself. No pun intended, since I know these are all birds. But yeah, we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves. So let's set up 2 of these things. There we go. So now this thing, if you zoom in here, you can see it's pumping some water. When enough gets into this thing, this rocket, it'll shoot off into space and then go back to our space station. Old school felt, oh, we're still child. No, yeah, it's true. I'm still a child. I agree. Is there a demo for us to play? So they said this one is early access for a couple content creators. I don't know who got access to it. I didn't apply to it, but maybe they saw my video where I said I was very interested in this game. So I don't know when the full demo is going to be, or when the demo is going to be available to everybody. I literally don't have any info on it. I just got an email with the CD key, and there's probably some info in there that I just didn't read. But yeah, sorry, if I get more info, I'll definitely make a post about it though. It's just been a little crazy, and I haven't streamed for a couple weeks, I think, so I need to get back in the swing of things. So this is kind of a nerdy thing that probably most people are not going to care about, but I really love those circular worlds because you notice, like, if I start right here and I do a rotation, notice how I don't come back to the same place. It'll actually go. So it's because my mouse inputs are on a flat two-dimensional plane, but this sphere exists in a three-dimensional world, but it's like a spherical coordinates. So there's these mathematical transformations you can use that will go between, like a, say, like a flat into like a conical or a spherical coordinate system. So that I don't know, I've always been fascinated by that. It's like, wait, I'm doing the exact same thing, but it's moving the planet around. I don't get back to the same place. Like, if you turn around in a circle where you're standing, you're going to end up in the same place. The same thing doesn't apply if you're on a different coordinate system. So anyways, really nerdy thing. I thought it was kind of cool though. So we just got that. We can keep doing missions so that we can either get tech points to research things or credits to build more buildings. We have a decent amount of credits, so let's just get our tech points. We also need to research this thing, so let's go ahead and research it. And then we need to pump some water in to fund that research. So, have you seen the Medieval Chronicles game? Yes, Eldam, I've got some videos planned for that. I can't say too much right now, but yes, I do have some stuff planned for that. Very, very cool looking game. Let's see. Didn't know why that happens. It's also a 3D modeling program. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I believe it has to do with when you're trying to go, like, if you look at where this mouse is, it's in a two-dimensional plane that would be above this, right? But then if I move, you're equidistant above the planet, so you would basically, your position would draw out like a sphere, maybe X, you know, some kind of radius away from the surface of this. So it actually curves. If you were to compare where your X position is, it would be like a sphere, right? It would travel a sphere. But my actual mouse is on a 2D plane, a flat plane. So it's like mixing water and oil. You can't really do that. You need some kind of transformation. I'm trying to remember what the name of the mathematical transformation is. I can't remember. I don't think it's a Fourier transformation. It might, maybe it's Fourier, but I don't know. I remember doing it a long time ago, and I just haven't had to remember it. So I'm sure there's a bunch of smarter people than I am in the chat that could answer it. Here we go. So we'll collect those. Yeah. So get the research. We can claim our hub. Let's go ahead and build this thing. So it needs to go on this big ball thing. Here we go. So we can plot that out. I love how they put the little bird chirps. I've got an African gray parrot, so I'm a little partial towards birds. But I don't know. I just like that stuff. Hey Amber, how are you? This is my first time chatting in your stream. I was hooked on your Game of Thrones mod video for Bannerlord. Sadly, it just crashed when I opened it. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, mods can be tricky. It's like, you never really know what is going to happen. You can follow the same directions that I suggest and it'll still crash. Just because, you know, different hardware might react differently. So it's kind of tricky. All right, here we go. So to keep this progressing, we could turn in gold and oxygen and we'll get credits and tech points. So if we accept that one, we'll get even more stuff. This one, if we produce any of these, we'll get the associated rewards with it. So we'll end up doing all of these. Let's do gold because we're already collecting gold anyways. Or there's gold on this planet. So that's pretty easy to do. We probably need more credits. We need a lot more credits. So let's go ahead and start collecting this stuff. What is this? Water. Yeah, you know, we do need water still. And then there's a refiner right here that we can build. And what you do is you turn water into oxygen. That was really poorly placed, actually. I should probably move that, but that's all right. If it becomes a problem, I can move it later. Math, though. Hey, Steven, what's up, man? All right, So there we go. Let's get one more water if we can. It's not gonna let us squeeze it out, is it? No. That's alright. That'll work for now. And then if we can get... Where can we start this gold? Let's do one more gold. And I think you can get up to 4. Yeah, 4 of these things connected to one of these before you start to clog it up. So 4 should be all right. So now we're producing water, oxygen, and gold. So there's 3 resources we're producing and shipping out. That'll help us clear a lot of these. All right, here we go. Yeah, there's the gold. We can make another one of these landing pads, but we're gonna need 100 credits. Actually, yeah, why don't we just do that? We can speed this up by quite a bit. So I'm gonna do this. Let's get one right here and connect it. Like I said, a lot of the trick with this game is figuring out how you're gonna fit all this stuff into one map. It's actually quite challenging. It's harder than it looks. I'll just put it that way. Because I made mistakes on my first playthrough. So there's 2 more gold. Let's keep collecting all this stuff. So there we go. We got credits for that. We can accept another one. Copper. We don't have access to any of these, but we do have gold. So we'll fulfill that one, and then we'll get copper later. Get our credits. Let's take more credits for water. And actually, we could probably do another 2 waters right here. And then we'll have to feed this in very carefully around the edge. Like that, so it doesn't take up valuable space that we could be using. So you can see it could eventually become a logistics nightmare if you set your thing up wrong. Hey, I was looking at the KCD2 Hardcore Episode 3 when I saw you streaming. Hey, Leviton, what's up? Appreciate you popping in. I know this one's not going to be popular. This is probably one of those weird games that nobody will ever play, but I thought it looked fun, and I really like their videos. I'm a huge fan of any of these science YouTubers that kind of spread interest in sciences, so I don't mind if I can help in any kind of way. I would, I appreciate all the work they've done. Hey, Extra Large, how's it going, man? Okay, let's keep pumping our credits out because we do need a lot of credits. Yeah, see, we're generating water, we're just not generating a ton of water. No, we're doing 4. Actually, that's not terrible. Your whole office is filled with Kurzgesagt posters? That's cool. Yeah. Okay, made from the calendar. Yeah, their merchandise is such high. I haven't bought anything, but just the way they present it and the graphics and all that stuff, it looks really well done. And I would imagine as my kids get a little older, I wouldn't mind buying some of their stuff. Alright, nothing else to collect. We'll leave our little rover here for now. And you can do this for all the planets that are in the area. We'll end up doing that at some point, but you have a t-shirt and poster, all the counters since 2017. I gotcha. Yeah, I watch every video they make, and I've literally never seen a bad one. And they always are, they're very good at their messaging and spreading awareness of stuff, so. Very admirable. Alright, what else can we do here? We need to find copper, but to be able to find copper... Wait, this one, let's move... Oh, deliver resources to the hub. I see. I messed up. Okay, so these need to go gold and what is that? Oxygen? Okay, so our oxygen needs to go from here to here then, actually, not producing oxygen into nowhere. And then same thing, this, we can disconnect this and just pop it straight in there. This one can disconnect. Just delete the pipe like that and then draw it straight in. There we go. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, so we should be keeping pace. No, our oxygen is way faster, but that's all right. There we go. And then once that's done, we should move it back because I don't think there's any benefit. It's just you need to get the research done, and then we can use the resources for other things after. There we go. So that's done. Again, we'll disconnect this. Okay, so now they want this resource, which is uranium. Hey, extra large, thank you so much for donating the memberships. I appreciate that, man. And it's I'm really happy that a small group got it. Instead, sometimes when you see the Bannerlord streams and there's like 300 people, it's it's kind of hard to get it to the right people. I know this is more of a dedicated audience that are watching a kids game. But for sure, I would definitely play this with my kids. I wouldn't mind them playing it. Now, how do I get rid of this stupid thing? I want to draw this back. I don't want the asteroid. I want to get rid of this belt. Crap. Alright, maybe I just delete the whole extractor and replace them. It should be fine. You don't get punished for placing stuff and deleting it, so I do appreciate that. I get a second one in here. I had 2 in here before. Oh, that sucked. It's not going to let us do it, is it? Alright, let me see if there's a better spot to put it. Okay, yeah, I can actually get 2 in there. Perfect. So let's get 1 here. And then actually I can sneak 1 in here because this is completely useless space anyways. So there we go. Now we're getting that gold back out there. And then we need to figure out how to get this uranium back to our main area. So and Levitson, thank you so much for the gift, the sub. I appreciate that. Yeah, you guys are very generous. I appreciate it, man. I'm not a big fan of sci-fi, but their terraforming Mars, this Venus videos are so nice. Yeah. Likes more historical medieval stuff. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of history channels and stuff, but my first passion and love in life was always science. That was where I spent most of my time, and especially in school. So, but I don't know. I kind of get into everything, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm just a fan of interesting things, I guess. And I happen to find these interesting. So we do need to find a planet that has this stuff on it, which we don't have access to right now, uranium. So why don't we head out so we can go back to the main map, and then we need to scan some other maps. So this one says it has, not uranium. Uranium is the half pie shape. So we'll discover this one. It does cost a little bit of tech points, but it's not a big deal. That's why I like you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's always good to be around people that are curious, and so I find myself gravitating towards channels and other people that are, you know, like-minded. Here we go. We can drop our rover here and clean it up. Let's clean up the surface. So we're not paying full price for all this stuff on this planet. There's a few things here. Yeah, so there's some extractors we can make right here. You know what? Let's do all 4. Let's do all 4. So the way this works is plug these in. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't tell it where to go, it just goes back to your home base. We don't want that. We actually want them to go here, but we need to build a pad for them to go back to. So we need to, yeah, it's researching. Wait, how? That doesn't make any sense. Do we have to feed it into this? How do we feed it in if we don't have a landing pad? Oh, no, okay, we don't have... Okay, never mind. We're good. We need to... Yeah. So we need to get this going. Ooh, we're gonna have cross-pollination here. That's not good, or whatever you want to call it. So let's get a receiver. We'll disconnect the water. Because we need to be able to get stuff from the landing pad to here. So then we go from, yeah, this we connect to our landing pad, and now we will send things from this asteroid to this asteroid. and then they come in on our container ship, and then they go straight to here. So they'll fill that up, and then we'll reconnect these in just a second. I don't think we need that permanently, so there we go. So we got that. Let's see what else we need to do. We need to make some more materials. We do need some more tech points though, so why don't we do that? Now this one says we need to bring in quartz, and it needs to go into this. So we don't need this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this. I'm going to disconnect this. There we go. Oh, did I break the game? Yeah, this needs to go back to the station so that way we can get credit for those resources. So as you send resources, even if you don't need them to complete missions, you build up your supply, and that supply turns into credits. So you can see here, we're sending all this stuff back, and we are getting a steady supply of income. And also for me, I want to get 100% of this, so you have to get all these maxed out at 3 stars. So we need to do it anyways eventually. So Kima, the demo is not for everybody just yet. I don't know when they're going to do it. I don't have any info, or maybe I do and I just didn't read it. I'll look through it later today. So yeah, I'll make a post on it if I find any more info about it. But yeah, I just wanted to figure it's been a while since I've done a stream, and I wanted to do something today, and this one looked like some fun. And then afterwards, I got to get back to recording some campaigns, but yeah, quartz. Okay, so quartz. Okay, let's come back in here. In order to make quartz, we need to combine a couple things, which means we need a chemical lab, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, see, this one doesn't have anything. But if we go to the chemical lab, we can make quartz. We just have to have silicon and water. But hold up. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of the landing pad as well for now. We can pick it up later. Let's get our rover running. We can make a little bit of cash. How are we going to do this without a chemical lab, though? Okay, there we go. So I had to click on that to be able to even have the option. Okay, so we'll get the research going. This one is going to require water and silicon, which is fine. We should be able to get that, no problem. If we already have water. We need to go find some silicon. Yeah, no problem, Kima. Silicon is here. Yep. Let's go ahead and discover this one, and we still have a little bit of tech points we can build on the planet. Oh, this is a tiny one. Holy smokes. So this one has silicon and water. Okay. Probably don't need too much of the water, but we do need the silicon. Actually, let's get our rover out, because these things are free. It's never a bad idea to just collect stuff. You never know when you're gonna get, be broke and need a little bit of cash. Here we go. So we can do 1, 2. I think I can squeeze 4. Yep, I can squeeze 4. Let's get these bad boys plugged in. There we go. Now, it's gonna go back there. We don't want it to go there. We want it to actually go... Oh, yeah, I guess we do. Never mind. So it needs to go back to the main base. That's fine. We'll use it later. There we go. So we just unlocked our chemical lab. We can build it. And like I said, this is where we combine resources into making something that's more complex. So if we combine silicon and water, then we can turn it into quartz, and then we can feed the quartz into our, whatever this thing's called. What is this called? Excavation hub. So let's do that. Where do we have water? Oh, we already have water available right there. That's perfect. So chem lab right here. Let me think this through real quick, because I'm gonna need to use a bunch of space. So we need to hook this up. let's do that first so that we can just pre-plan that already. Alright, so we come back here. We need that silicon to go into... Let's do 2 chemical labs. Yeah, like that. So we're going to have 1 water go here, 1 silicon go there, and then the output goes here. Oh crap, but then the water. You can't cross paths. Okay, that reminds me of an interesting little problem that you can do. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just fill this up first, and then we can do it later. I think if I run this one here, I could do this one around the outside. Yeah. I could do 2. Not a problem. But they don't need to go here. These need to go to another one of these outputs, actually. That's probably what needs to happen. That's fine. We'll let this one fill up, and then we'll figure it out. There we go. 1 more quartz, and we're good to go. So you can see here... Are you going to spit it out, or what? Uh-oh, what happened? What happened? Did I break something? Here, let me, Okay, there it goes. No, that's a different one. What did I break? I'm sure I broke something. Let's see if we go out of the map and then back in. I didn't change anything, so it should just be going straight in. It's giving me a red flashing thing. So I probably did something wrong here. Can I disconnect this? No, I'm just going to delete this. Let's connect these and just use this one for now and see if we can get it to work again. It is early access, like I said. This one's not even open to everybody yet, so I'm sure there's going to be bugs. There we go. Hold on to your bird butts. Like I said, it's definitely themed to appeal to kids, but if you enjoy puzzle solving and, you know, logistics chains and stuff like that, if you've got that kind of tism like I do, this is a very fun game, actually. It's not a very big demo. I don't know if they'll have an actual demo for the public. It's only 2 maps and then like an offshoot of another map. Yeah, skip the cutscene. We need to continue because we have a lot of work to do. So, like I said, to get 100%, you have to get all these at 3-star, which means you need to supply a lot of this stuff. And then getting this, you have to complete a bunch of these. So we need copper to be able to progress this as well. Why don't we work on that next, actually? I'm going to delete this. Delete this. And then delete this as well. We'll figure this out later. We can just send this water and try and get that production up and running. We'll try and get that maxed out. Yeah. What are we going to need the most of? Probably need a lot of treasury, so let's do 2 treasuries. That should give us a pretty good boost there. Let's try and max out maybe 1 or 2 things at a time, instead of trying to do a little bit of each. So let's see if there's more water here. We can do another launch pad. Let's do one over here, and I'm just going to spam these things. Alright, I could definitely fit more than 4 on this. There we go. And like I said, if we need to delete it later, it's not a big deal. Let's take our cash. Take our cash. Let's keep making money. Keep making money. And then how are we looking here? Yeah, you can see here, this is now at 2 stars, and the supply is going up. I think this one will hit 3 stars, and then we can move on to the next one. Yeah, and while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and discover some of these other ones and see what we're missing. Alright, so this one actually has copper. That's one of the ones that we need. We can do a quick, just a little dinky base here just to get that one going. Ooh, you know what? We need more tech points. We don't need a lot of tech points, but we do need some. Yeah, let's just send this back. So we're just taking straight copper. Get a couple of these. Oh man, the topography is making it challenging because of how steep the thing is. They're like clipping into each other. There we go. So that should be enough to at least get something going here. We'll get copper. That'll. Let me get these going so we don't slow it down. But we need to turn in copper for this, but we also need to turn it in for this one. Yeah. See, there we go. Water's maxed out at 3 stars. One thing. Okay, there we go. So we unlocked that. That'll give us access to the next one. And then as you progress, you need more, but you also get more treasury. So it's kind of cool. It does scale. So it's not that grindy. The next one we can do here for module quests. We could do oxygen and water since we're already producing those. We're also producing a lot of silicon. That would be really easy. And I think I'd rather have the credits. So let's go with that one. I just started a Bannerlord Valandian crossbow only run. It's been really fun. I can't wait for the boats. Yeah, the boats are going to be crazy. It'd be interesting to see if you could just like stay away from people and just keep pelting them with arrows and bolts and stuff. Especially if you have infinite ammo, maybe the boats will have like the arrow barrels that you can refill from. That would be an interesting idea. You could really do some interesting things with that. Let's keep... Yeah, there we go. So we got that one filled out. These are going to be really easy. We're already producing a bunch of these materials, so it shouldn't be difficult. Now, one thing I do want to test that I didn't really test is if we stop producing water, does that reduce... Let me delete these and just see if we lose the stars, or do we just have to get it once, or do you have to maintain it? That's one thing I did not test. So let's see. Doesn't seem to be going down, but I'm going to let it run a little bit more before I make that final determination. Here we go. So we need uranium, which we're making a bunch of, so that'll be an easy one to pass. We probably need a little bit more tech. Let's just do that, and then we'll continue getting our credits for everything else. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be affecting us much, so I think you just need to pump up one resource at a time. So actually, if that's the case, we can just delete these and move them over to something else. So I know for sure we need a bunch of the gold. We can spam these. Get that up to max. There we go. There we go. We finished the reactor. We can get another one going. So we don't have aluminium yet. I don't know why I said aluminium. It's always, in the US, it's always pronounced aluminum. But I probably sound smarter saying aluminium, so maybe I'll keep doing that. There we go. We have way too much cash now. Actually, we need to start spending our money. What else? So gold. Oh no, it did go down. Okay, so we need to maintain. All right. Duly noted, my friend. Duly noted. So let's plop 4 new ones. We may not need all 4. We can potentially we could use these other ones to craft other ones. That didn't make a whole lot of sense. You said that correctly, aluminium. Yeah, I guess it depends on where in the world you're from, but here we go. Yeah, we're producing all this stuff, so this is going to be easy to maintain. How are we looking? Water is still not quite there yet. Let's just connect it. It's fine. We can figure it out later if we need to. And there we go. Gold is good. Water is good, so that's fine. Oh, yeah. We need to find, or we need to produce oxygen. Is there another place we can get water from? Because that one's gonna get really crowded. Yeah, we can produce oxygen here, which you need water. So why don't we do that on this planet? So we need single converters for that. And then we need a place to ship it back home. So that's gonna go to there, that's gonna go to there, there to there. So now we're producing water, turning it into oxygen, and then shipping it home. 2 is not gonna be enough, we need more. So let's maybe get a few more. I don't know if 3 is also going to be enough, so maybe we need to get a little tiny bit more. This thing needs to move. Get out of here. I'm gonna do something stupid, but it'll make sense later, maybe. So I went around here because oh, but then that completely blocks that whole thing. So that's probably not the smartest. Yeah, it's fine. We'll move it later if we need to. So there we go. We're producing quite a bit of oxygen now. Let's keep our income moving in the right direction. There we go. So we have oxygen, we have water, and gold. That's all maxed out. Let's continue. We need to max out copper, silicon, and uranium, which are pretty close actually. We just need a little bit more. Alright, so let's see if that's enough for this. Oh man, we like min-max this. We can get a little bit more here. I just don't know if we can route it back to where it needs to be. This one has only 2. Yeah, we can get it back there. That's fine. So we'll route it. No, all the way. All the way. Don't give up. These poor little pipelines. There it goes. All right, so that's 4. That should be enough. That should be enough for this one for sure, and then we can take some back. Hey, Popper, what's going on? Original Super Mario Brothers. That'd be an interesting one. Yeah, see, we have way too many resources where we're not gonna be able to spend them all, so I think we're good. Is it this one? Yeah, this one should be popping soon, and we'll have that maxed. We have a lot of work to do, though. There's probably a lot of stuff in here in the refiner that that we can create. Waste. We need to send back waste as well. Hello, I was watching your Bandlord videos. They're super useful. Are you going to do more of them when the new DLC comes out? Yeah, I'm not waiting for them to make the DLC. I'm going to produce them anyways. Yeah, so I'll be making more videos for sure. I've got another campaign planned. I don't have it started yet, but I plan on starting it either this weekend or next week, sometime during the week, and that'll go up on the Let's Play channel. I have a mod review for Shokuho. It's already done, it just needs to be edited, so I have all the clips, the voiceover's done, the script is all done, everything's done, I just need to edit it, which is usually the part where I lose interest and don't do it. So hopefully I can get through it. Hey, Decay, how's your day going? Alright, how we looking here? Those are maxed. We've got 4 maxed out. Let's go to another planet and get some of the other ones maxed. Yeah, grandma with 300 ogre. There you go. This one is almost maxed. I don't... Shoot, man. That's the only thing this planet has is uranium, rather. But anyways, this should be an easy one. Let's just put it down. Let's see. I think 2 more is probably enough to get it to max. We'll wait for that. All right, more money coming in, and then this one we need to get a lot of this stuff actually. Yeah, we don't have any of the triangle yet. Aluminum. Almost did it again. I'm turning European. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the aluminum? Yep, there it is. Let's get these all connected. That is very poorly routed. There we go. So that should be good. I think maybe 2 more. I'm gonna put 2 more. I don't know how many you can max these out on. I thought it said 4, but maybe we can do more. I don't know. Sorry, but a quick recap. What is this game about? Hey, DK, yeah, no problem. So essentially, it's like a puzzle solver mixed with some logistics, supply chain. Essentially, what you're trying to do is complete all these little quests that they give you. So for example, this one, they want us to turn in quartz and gold. And if you turn these 2 things in, you can get your station level upgraded and you can get credits. This one, you can either choose to turn in aluminum or silicon and you get these corresponding rewards. So depending on what resource you need, you kind of pick and choose what you work on. And these station rewards, basically your quest rewards go up every time you do the station rewards, every time you pass it. So like for example, this one, we need quartz. To be able to make quartz, we need to make it in a chemical plant. We turn silicon and water into quartz and then ship it back. So yeah, you're just basically trying to figure out what do you need and how do you get it. It's the typical supply chain problems. So if you're into those kinds of games, which I'm a huge fan of, this is actually pretty fun. It's very simple. It's a very simple game, but it's not easy, if that makes sense. Like the early stages can get pretty easy, but then if you look like how crazy these are, there's a lot of things to consider, and you have to have a lot of forethought. So pretty interesting game. Lost track of what I was doing. I was trying to do chemical lab. Silicon and water, we'll send that back. We need to do that anyways. Yeah, see our silicon and uranium maxed out. So uranium's good. That was just with 2 extra. So most of these we can pull 2 back and then still have enough to complete it. Speaking of which, let's go. Yeah, aluminum's still kind of going up. Let's send 2 more copper and see if that's enough. Yeah, no problem. Copper was here. I don't know if I can get any more in there. It's like really jam tight. But I should be able to get some here. And we'll keep our lines very close to each other so we don't take up too much map space. We'll have more room in the future, hopefully. Okay, so it looks like 6 is okay. It does slow down a little bit, but it doesn't back up to where it stops production. So I think 2 is probably okay. Anyhow, we need to... let's see. Yeah, that's going up. Let's get 1 more aluminum. Actually, yeah, they look. See, this one looks like it's backed for sure. This one is not efficient. We have too many things on that one, so let's maybe pull a couple of these. Erase your pipes. We'll reroute it to this, and that should make it a little bit more efficient, maybe. Actually, this one can go this way, so it's not taking up room on this side. I can get another one right here. There. So that should help us get this to max. Copper should go to max as well, I think. Right, we just added a bunch. Well, maybe it's not enough though. No, see, this one's backing up now too. Okay, so it's just a matter of time. Which means we'll reroute some of these. There we go. 4. Okay, so aluminum's maxed. Let's get this one maxed. There we go. That'll be maxed for sure. And then we'll be good to go. Appreciated it, man. Was watching your solo world conquest of the whole map and it was so fun. Yeah, I found somebody that's gonna help me edit that one, so I'll have it on the big channel where I do like the heavily edited recaps. So hopefully we can relive that one. That was a fun campaign. I mean, it was miserable while I was doing it, but like looking back on it now, it was really fun. Yeah. Okay, what are we working on now? We need to get quartz going. That's a big one. So quartz is one of these that's missing. The debris, junk, whatever it's called. Actually, we can do that here. Why don't we do that here while we're already here? We can focus on that. Is there any other spot? No. Oh boy. I think it's probably okay though. I can fit at least one right here. So if I feed this in, it's gonna produce garbage, I think. Yeah. So this is another thing we need to make, even though it's not worth anything. So that has 4. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has 4. This one has 4. Maybe I can get 5 in each one without it backing up. I don't know. Let's try it. We'll keep an eye on that and see if it actually helps. But yeah, you can see here, we'll have another 1 star here. We're pretty close to getting this one maxed out. We're almost there. Not quite. Yeah, you know, let's just try and max that one out on this planet, because this one has a lot of space. If they only have 4 things, then we will try to fit a 5th. And just get the junk. There we go. Keep shipping the ash. We're at 2 stars now. It'll pop in a second. We're missing one thing. Let me look in here. No, there's only one recipe here, so there's got to be another thing that we can use in the chem lab. There's got to be another one. Oh yeah, there it is. Craftable waste. So we can make quartz, and then we can just make garbage. Okay, this one, oh, this one's about to hit 3 stars as well. So we're pretty much done with that. And we did it all on this planet, so that helps. Yep, we got it. 3 stars. Let's focus on getting quartz going. And in order to do quartz... Okay, quartz, we need silicon and water. That's going to be hard to get enough of. Probably don't need all of this, actually. I'm going to try and get water. Hold on a second. Oh, crap. Did I use that? No, there's one right here. I can use this one. Is there any other spots I can do a launch pad? No. Where did I put that one? Here it is. Okay, and where did I get that water hose from? This one? No, this one. Yeah. There it goes. Alright, so this one needs to go... That's actually not what I meant to build. Oops. a launching pad. Or a receiving pad, landing pad. So we need to get one of these. We'll feed water into it. And then we need to send in silicon. So we'll feed one of these silicons right here. And you know what? Yeah, to make up for it, because we don't want to lose that one, the supply of silicon. So let's send some more stuff. I might have to redo this and then have some production here, some combinators or whatever you want to call them, the chemical labs, because this one has a lot of empty space. We're gonna run into some logistics issues. Like I said, not a particularly complicated game, but it's not easy. Okay, they're getting backed up. We need to send... There. Oh, it's making crap. Did I send the wrong thing? I sent uranium and not silicon. Whoops. Well, we are, interestingly enough, we do need the junk though, so damn it. Put the wrong thing. It's okay. We'll try and max that out and then we'll get maybe one more thing next. I don't know. We need water. Water there, please. Yes, there is. Okay, so we can do 2 more science labs. How do we do this without blocking the other one in, is the question. This water needs to go, because it's blocking too much stuff. Right, this can go here, this can go here, and this can go all the way over here. Stupid thing. Alright, here we go. We'll have to try and squeeze one more in there, maybe, if we can. No, we can't. You can't cross pipes. Like this cannot go over. So that is the big logistical issue with doing this. Alright, well, I'm gonna delete this extractor. Let's see, maybe we don't need a lot, like a high volume of this stuff. We can just make a little bit of it and it'll go 3 stars. There's our goop. Yeah, it's not producing very much. We need more. So how do I get... I can route one like this, actually. Why don't I do that? I'll route this way. We'll get an extractor right here. We can route water like this. Oh god, this is tenuous. Yeah, we can get one right here. It doesn't look pretty. And it's, yeah, it's really janky, but it will give us one more production. Oh boy. Alright, what's coming down this one? This is the uranium. Are you excited for the War Sales DLC? Yeah. Yeah, if they manage to get it out. I don't know how long their delay is going to be, but yeah, if they can manage to figure that out, I'll definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to playing it. Alright, we might be filling this one up too much, but maybe not. Yeah, because our goop is having to wait a little bit. It's got 6 things attached to it. I'm gonna I'm gonna pull one back actually and have it route to this one that only has 4. Okay. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Damn it. I deleted the wrong thing. I was trying to delete this pipe and then route it here, because this one has only 4. So let's see if that helps. Alright, I could have put the thing over here and then just fed it into there, but that's alright. Now, one thing I'm not sure about, it says passive income, 2.6 per second, but I don't see this ever going up. I don't know if it saves it for a certain amount of time and then it gives you it all in one go. But I definitely haven't seen this move. I've been watching it for a while. Have to drop. Hey, extra large, I appreciate you popping in and thank you for helping support the channel, man. I appreciate that. Romania is playing World Cup qualifier. Got it. Gotcha. Well, good luck. Okay, let's see. Are we there? Oh, we're so close. We're so close. I think we're gonna get it actually, and that means we can focus on just one thing next, and then we're done. This map is 100%. Come on. Dude, it's so close. It might make us do one more, which would suck. Nope, we got it. Okay, sweet. Alright, we need to make quartz. Quartz is the one that I was shipping the wrong thing, so we need to ship the correct thing this time. Which is from here. Oh my god, this planet is so small. Oh, let's get another launch pad. Not that it's gonna help. We can't even put extractors down. Okay, there's a little bit of room right here. We would have to disrupt this, which I think is probably okay. Let's go and delete that. Yep, there's our launch pad. Please let me get 2. Yes, we got 2. Okay, so we got at least 2 going out. I don't know if that's enough volume. There it is. All right, so we're gonna ship this back here. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Crap, dude, we're gonna lose our 3-star. We're gonna lose our 3-star for the other area. You know what we might have to do is use one of these planets that's not as populated to do it, and we'll have to ship multiple things. So again, it's silicon and water. This planet does not produce either of those, but we'll have to use this as like the home base, maybe? No, where am I gonna even find room? Yeah, you could probably tell at this point this is where the challenge comes. What's your opinion on the game so far? It's fun. It's actually really fun. This is not a game that I would play for maybe 1,000 hours. I don't know, maybe the challenges get crazier. Like getting 100% is actually pretty hard. Like I'm very close to it, but I'm not there. I still have some other stuff I gotta get. There's one more thing and I don't even know where to put it. Like I have no room anywhere. Yeah, that's not gonna fit. There's no room. There's just no room. Oops. Yeah, like I said before, this is definitely a game I would let my kids play. For sure. This is a really fun problem solving. Like if I don't know, I feel like everybody can use these skills, even if you're not planning on being like an engineer or scientist or whatever. You know, these kind of problem solving skills could benefit literally everybody. So, oh, this one has like nothing on it. Okay, maybe this is where we do it then. Maybe this is where we do it then. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It's not out yet, and we'll have to see the full game, but just from the couple of maps that I've seen, like I said, it's simple. It's not something that you would probably play for maybe 1,000 hours. I think once you do each map to the fullest, you do it once. It's probably not something you would go back and do. You know, once you solve the problem, you kind of... It loses the fun if you try and redo it again, so... I don't know. Damn it, man. Yeah, we need water and silicon. So this silicon can go there. Yeah, let's do an import. Landing pad, whatever. But then the problem is we need two things importing. I don't think I have a spot for two. I would have to go back and redo this whole setup, I think, and kind of min-max it. I know I'm probably sending too many things. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Dang it. I painted myself into a corner. There's definitely some inefficiencies here. Like I said, I think I hooked too many things up, and there's some stuff that I could remove, and I would have a little bit more room. Oh yeah. But anyways, yeah, I didn't want to do a long stream today. I just wanted to at least get something out, hang out with people, say hi to everybody. So I think I'm gonna cut this one, but yeah, like I said, there's not much to the demo anyways. This is, if you look at the levels, there's three. There's the first one, the one we just played on, and then there's another one that's it says Little Detour. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is. And then if you look at the full thing, I don't know how long the campaign's gonna be, but yeah, it should be pretty interesting. But anyways, fun game. I would definitely keep an eye on it if these types of games appeal to you. And as I mentioned, the main reason I was interested in it is because I like the channel, I like what they're doing, and I would love to help support them in any way that I can. So this one definitely appealed to me in that sense, and it just happened to be a fun game, so I would definitely play this one. But anyways, I'm gonna head out. I got a lot of recording to do, get some content to you guys soon. A bunch of Bannerlord stuff as well, so I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.